let's talk about the floor and the ceiling for Michigan State this year, because there's a wide range for the Spartans this year. It's not like we're coming in like, hey, these are the games we know we're going to win. These are the games we know we're going to lose. For Michigan State and the program where we are right now and where we're at, there's a lot of in between. So let's pop the schedule up right now. And there's the fun graphic from earlier. So you have Toledo, Eastern, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, Northwestern, UCLA, Michigan, Washington, Oregon, Rutgers. So let's go game by game. So obviously the first two chalk up as wins. Even in the whether you're going very pessimistic, very optimistic, Toledo breaking in a new coach. Jason Candle left for UConn. If it was a Jason Candle led team, I think there'd be something to be a little more nervous about. Excuse me there. I'm getting choked up talking about Jason Candle. Great coach, great person. But if Jason Candle was there, it'd be a game to be more worried about. But a MAC school breaking in a new coach, there's nothing to sweat about. So even in our wildest fantasies, Michigan State starting 1-0 on September 4th, the Friday night special to start this game out. And then Eastern on the 12th of September, nice 3:30 BTN special, which us Spartan fans have come to love. Chris Creighton is a fine coach. Noah Kim is back at the quarterback. The start of three QBs, former QBs, Michigan State will face. Eastern, nothing to be scared of. And same with this third game, no matter optimistic, pessimistic, I think we're all kind of pinning the same thing. Notre Dame on the road. Yeah, we're chalk it up as a loss. So even in our floor and our ceiling, we're sitting at 2-1. Now these next few games, this is where the floor and the ceiling, diverge quite a bit. You have Nebraska at home, Wisconsin on the road, Illinois at home. For those three games are all winnable. If you're going to the ceiling, you're winning all three. You're bouncing back. You're coming back home from Notre Dame. You're taking on Nebraska. You fought close to them last year till it got out of hand late. Like that's a team, especially in Spartan Stadium, you should be taken care of. So on the floor side, you're losing that game because of inexperience. We're seeing the same issues pop up as we have seen the last few years. So we're on the floor side, we're sitting at 2-2. Ceiling side, we're winning that game. We're 3-1. So we'll continue with the floor side because I want to get this done out of the way. Don't want to be as pessimistic. We can have fun more at the ceiling. So on the floor, right now we're 2-2, traveling to Wisconsin, a road game, tough environment, jump around happening. You lose that one, all of a sudden, you're looking at 2-3. Illinois comes in, Brett Bielema a team, not fun. A very sound football team, Caton Hauser there. You lose that game, you're sitting at 2-4. I think Northwestern got to chop that up as a win. I'm putting it as a win even on the floor side. So you're sitting at 3-4. Then a tough stretch. UCLA at home or on the road. You saw what they did to this coming into East Lansing last year. Michigan on the road. You do get a bye week in between there, but those are two losses. So you're sitting there, 3-5 right now? 3-5. And then Washington at home, Oregon at home, 3-7, Rutgers at home to close the season. 4-8 is probably the floor to this team, is what I'm putting the floor of this team. I mean, you've seen how many the last few seasons, 5-7, 4-8. Like that seems to be the bottoming out point, hopefully, for Michigan State. So for the floor part of, hey, if what can go wrong will go wrong, I'm still putting 4 wins on the board with Rutgers, Northwestern, Eastern, and Toledo. It's not going to be that fun break-in season for Fitzgerald if Alessio doesn't progress, if that offensive line doesn't stay healthy. the defense, as thin as it is on the line, just can't keep up. Like those are the reasons of concerns. You know, the wide receiver core. I mean, and Courtney Hawkins, we trust, but you know, if it's just Christian McCray, we get Collier mixed in, there's not a lot of depth there. You know, so if we're talking about floor, we're talking about 4-8, but that's not the fun conversation. The conversation that we always have in July, we have in August is, hey, what's the best thing that could happen this year? What is the best possible outcome for our team? Like we always put on our fan goggles, you know, we have fun and we can talk ourselves into wins. So I was saying earlier, like Toledo, we're putting a win. Eastern Michigan a win. I think even in our funnest, wildest dreams, I still don't think we're going into South Bend and taking a win in our wildest dreams. I don't. I'm not there yet. Maybe I will when some more practice film comes out. We see the nice, you know, spiral videos coming from Alessio. We see Cam Edwards making some cuts. But I think Notre Dame is just too far ahead right now. And with this schedule, I think the ceiling for this team can go quite well for Pat Fitzgerald. Because after Notre Dame, you're sitting at 2-1. Then we get Nebraska at home on September 26th. And that should be a win. I think Nebraska, despite what the high you think of Matt Rule is, we kind of know, and they're breaking in a new quarterback. Raiola took off and went to Oregon, and so Nebraska breaking in a new quarterback, that could go wrong for them. So chalk that up as a win. 3-1. Wisconsin, Luke Fickell, the man that got away supposedly from East Lansing. You know, things haven't gone great for Luke Fickell. It's kind of, we knew, they said or the old Denny Green quote, we knew who they thought they were. And then walk out of here with the win. Like, Luke Fickell is proving to just be the kind of mundane, average college football coach. There's, when he gets to these Big Ten schools, there's nothing special about these teams. What he did in Cincinnati was great, but his year at Ohio State, what he's done in Wisconsin hasn't been. So if we're going for the ceiling, we're marking it as a win, and all of a sudden, we're sitting there first weekend of October, 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in Big Ten play. And then you get to take on Illinois, but you get to take them on at home. And Illinois is one of those teams. It just feels like they can play to their competition. Like there's nothing that will blow us away about Illinois, but there's nothing that says we're going to rout you either. It's a Brett Bielema team. It's not quite Wisconsin level Brett Bielema, but it's also like, it's the stigma is like, it's Illinois football. It feels like we should be able to take a win there. And being at home, like Katon Hauser starting, like another former quarterback, like, if we're sitting there fantasizing, putting the ceiling on this, that's another win. That's 3 straight wins for Michigan State, 5-1. And then you welcome in Northwestern, another former quarterback, Aiden Chiles starting, another game in East Lansing. And that's another 4 straight wins, 4-0 to start the Big Ten, 6-1 to start the season. That's great. Things could look great right here. So we're through that top, just in the start of the bottom line there, the schedule. Toledo win, 1-0. Eastern win, 2-0. Notre Dame, no matter what the ceiling is, I'm still putting that as a loss. Pretty much an auto loss. Maybe I'm hedging my own feelings there, but that's where I put it, 2-1. Then rattling off 4 straight victories puts us at 6-1. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Going out west to UCLA, as much fun as I'd love to put, a win for Michigan State. Michigan State going out west never goes well. It just never happens. It just doesn't happen for us. It's just not fun. And the way we got torn up last year, I mean, UCLA was coming in just not great, and we crapped the bed. So going out west, I think I'm going to put that as a loss. So 6-2, 4-1 in the Big Ten going into your bye week on Halloween weekend. I mean, what a blessing also for Spartan fans and the students to get Halloween night off. Halloween on a Saturday this year. No football game to affect our mood going in. 6-2, 4-1 in the Big Ten going into Michigan week. And that game's in Ann Arbor, where we're talking ceiling. Like, we just don't know. We know Michigan will be a solid team, but outside of that, like even last year, we were in that game in East Lansing. We had the offsides from Jordan Hall that kind of changed the whole aspect of that game and turned it around for Michigan to propel themselves to kind of pull away. So we don't know what Bryce Underwood's going to be. We don't know how Kyle Whittingham's going to work out at Michigan. We've seen a West Coast coach try to come over here, implement that style, implement that personality. It didn't go well. Could go the same for Michigan. So in our ceiling, I'm putting a win for Michigan State going in Ann Arbor. So right now, sitting 5-1 in the Big Ten, 7-2 overall, probably, getting in the rankings there. So far, great season for Pat Fitzgerald, year one. And then Washington, that's another tough one, but you're at home. This one, like, I might put as a loss. Like, I think this is where, especially coming off a rivalry win, the highest of highs for Michigan State football right now. You're going 7-2, beating Michigan, 5-1 in the Big Ten. Put a loss on Washington, and I think Oregon probably a loss there as well. The two other West Coast teams you're facing, they are coming to East Lansing. Oregon could be a little bit of a trap game, though. I'm not going to I don't want to pencil Oregon as an auto loss, mainly because of Oregon's schedule. There's Jeff Schwartz, former NFL lineman, went to Oregon, very active on Twitter. He's like, that's Oregon's trap game right there is Michigan State Friday night, on Fox in East Lansing. Oregon's coming off 7 straight games going into Michigan State. Like, that is a chance. And we've seen the last few years, even though Michigan State hasn't been, great, they've given Oregon a little bit of fits. They haven't gone the Spartans' way, but we've given the Ducks a little bit of a fit. So Oregon has a chance to be another fun way to get back on track. So in my ceiling, though, I'm going to put it as a loss because I'm going to respect Dan Lanning. That's 2 straight losses coming off of Michigan. You're, 7-3 right now. We have 2 wins there, 2-1, 6-1, 6-2, 7-2. So 7-4 going into Rutgers, 7-4, and Rutgers to close out the season November 28th, 8-4. 8-4, I think, is the ceiling of this team with a potential of 9-3. I think you could pop off Oregon or like one of the West Coast teams. I think those are the 3 other losses outside Notre Dame I put on there. But tell me, shoot me in the comments. What's your ceiling for Michigan State football this year? I think 8-4 could be a ceiling, kind of getting back into the rankings. Maybe after beating Michigan with what their record is, kind of flirting in those playoff rankings. It'd be fun to kind of have Michigan State just pop up on the outside looking in of how the schedule may fall for us. Like, we don't have Penn State on the schedule. We don't have Ohio State. Like, we get Oregon at home coming off 7 straight. We only go out west once to UCLA. Like, no USC on this schedule. So for this, like, that's why the ceiling can be 8-4, 9-3, because things break out nicely for Pat Fitzgerald in year one.